I'm Olivia Wilhelm. I'm student body president here at Ragsdale.
Hi everyone, I am Melissa Moreno. I am student body vice president here at Ragsdale.
And we just want to welcome everyone here to Ragsdale and to Guilford County. On behalf of the Board of Education, Superintendent Green, Principal Gibson, and their fellow 72,000 students, it is truly amazing to see so many of you come to our school from so many walks of life and from across the country simply because you believe in us and believe in the power of public education to transform lives and communities.
We are deeply moved by your attendance today and your support of our hopes and dreams. We also want to thank the Ragsdale Orchestra, the chorus, the ROTC, our cheerleaders, Principal Gibson, and the staff who have worked hard to help put this event together.
We are excited to see George Weiss here today and thank him for all he has done to help students achieve their dreams of a college education.
Again, thank you all for being here today.
Thank you, ladies.
Good morning. My name is Ann Busby, and I am so excited to be here this morning representing the many community partners who have been working to explore a partnership with Say Yes. Over a year and a half ago, we first learned about the work that George Weiss and the Say Yes to Education Foundation were working on to help students achieve their goal of a degree after high school. We thought there might just be something we could learn from them. And let me tell you, while you have been going to school the last year and a half, so have we. We did not know what we know today. For one thing, we did not know how very serious Mr. Weiss and his team are about helping communities like ours figure out how to do this. For the last year and a half, they have worked with us to explore what is possible in Guilford County for all of us, but especially for students like you. Not only have they taught us, they have also learned. They have gotten to know our community, to understand its many strengths, and they have learned about some of the fundamental challenges we are trying to overcome. Most important, they have worked alongside of us to understand the challenges that you face in charting a path toward your future. We believe that by working very hard together, we can overcome those challenges. I spent many years working with communities and schools in High Point, and I know firsthand that it takes an entire community to ensure educational success for students. And when people come together to do that, it's like Amos Quick, the vice chair of our school board, has said, the sky is the limit. I am deeply grateful to have worked beside many people these past year and a half, from nonprofits, from city and county governments, from our schools, and from across the community. And I would like now to recognize some of those elected officials who have made today possible. I can't call everyone's name individually, but if you would stand, we want to recognize you. Our Guilford County Board of County Commissioners, the Board of Education, mayors and members of City Council, and our state superintendent of schools. Thank you for your leadership and for your service. I have been absolutely amazed by the time and energy all of these folks are devoting to our students in our schools. It is truly a beautiful thing. You know that sometimes we adults don't have the best track record of working together to get things done. So I want to thank you, the students, because you have inspired us to work together to make Say Yes possible and to get things done. In order to tell you what you have inspired us to do, I want to call on Mildred Poole, who will come and tell you about what we have accomplished with Say Yes in Guilford County. Thank you.
My good morning will be nothing like yours. Good morning. This is a great day. I also have my own personalized cheerleaders in front of me, right? Okay. I remember the meeting when I first heard about Say Yes and the work to try and build a partnership here. I also remember hearing that one of the things the community was being asked to do was to make financial commitments that would demonstrate our capacity and our will to take on something this big. I knew I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be in on it from the beginning. And I wanted my involvement to send a message that this was about all of us. So immediately, I went to Walker Sanders at the end of the meeting, and I told him, I want to make a pledge. I want to be the first one. And I made my pledge of $1,000. Like a seed or a sapling that grows into a fully rooted tree, that pledge has grown. People from across this community have come forward and pledged $100, $500, $500,000, $1 million, and even $5 million. I am very humbled to be standing here today representing all of the people and organizations and businesses across this community that have made these pledges. You have heard some of the announcements about these gifts. Truly, they have been incredibly inspiring. One commitment that we received recently has not been announced and publicly celebrated, and I want to share it today because I think it's particularly exciting. Honda Jet has pledged $500,000. Like me, this is one of their largest and their first donations. Thank you, Honda Jet. Everyone can support Say Yes Guilford, whether you are a private individual like me, or a business or a corporation. Remember, no gift is too small, but I hope that everyone is inspired by all of these gifts and want to stretch and give as much as you can to this, our ultimate goal. Okay, let's talk about our goal. Since we're in school, we're going to do a little math. One of the things Say Yes helped us with was figuring out just how much money it might take for us to build a scholarship fund in our community. a kind of fun that could make a difference in your lives, that could make people in this community stand up and take notice and think about the future in a different way. Together, local leaders, along with the help of some experts from Say Yes, brought to the table, came up with a $70 million goal. Now that's 7 with 7 zeros. They then challenged us to raise 40% of that goal. Students that are good in math, can you tell me what 40% of 70 million is? I'm sorry, I got to do this. Young man in the stripe, what's that? 28 million? 28 million. Let's just say it's 28 million, okay. Yes, that's right, $28 million. Well, I've got some bad news for you. It turns out that we here in Guilford County aren't as good at percentages as we thought we were. We didn't raise 28 million. We didn't reach 40%. Instead, we raised $32.5 million. Now, to be exact, that's 46.42857% of $70 million. Many of those folks who helped make that happen are in the audience, and I want to say thank you. But students, I want to thank you. You have inspired this giving. Our schools demand a lot from you. We know you work hard. I want you to know that this community is behind you. We believe in you. We are investing in you. We're not just putting money that will be a prize or a promise. We're committing with this effort to walk along beside you, to push obstacles out of the way, to help you go over or around them, to pick you up when you stumble and dust you off. I know we'll be excited and hopeful about what Mr. Weiss might announce today, but regardless of that announcement, I want you to remember that these extraordinary pledges are pledges to you, that you are worth great investment. We're grateful for all that Say Yes has helped us accomplish over the past year, and we look forward to what we hope will be much more fruitful work ahead. Now, I would like to introduce Jean Chasen, the COO of Say Yes to Education. Jean started out as a teacher, went on to be a principal, an assistant superintendent, then a district superintendent, before shifting his work to focus on finding solutions to some of the toughest problems we face in public education. He has helped Say Yes expand its work exponentially, and he has been with us for the past year on this journey that has brought us here today. Jean?
Picture an entire community dedicated to ensure the gifts and talents of every single student is developed and nurtured. Picture an entire community dedicated to ensure every student is prepared for and supported completely in completing a post-secondary education. Picture an entire community dedicated to eliminating the financial barriers to higher education by providing tuition scholarships for its high school graduates at all state colleges and universities and 100 universities and colleges that partner with Say Yes. Picture a community with the systems and structures to sustain this work for future generations. This is a Say Yes community. Conceived of by a remarkable individual, George Weiss, who walks the talk of commitment to the future by dedicating himself to young people. This dream was built upon and nurtured by Marianne Schmidt-Carey, the CEO of Say Yes, who brought together a team to bring Mr. Weiss's vision to entire communities. Now join me in picturing over 80 people from the school district, from the city governments of High Point and Greensboro, officials from county government, parent leaders, teacher leaders, community-based organizations, local philanthropy, business leaders, working together, engaged in countless meetings and investing hundreds of hours to plan for the provision of scholarships, working out statements of commitment, adapting systems, figuring out where to locate offices, identifying the assets in the community to build upon, working together in a coordinated manner. This is what took place over the last year in Guilford County and brought us to this day. I want to offer my heartfelt thanks to Winston McGregor and the Guilford Education Alliance, who did much of the behind-the-scenes work to keep this effort moving. I also want to thank the dedicated and remarkable people I mentioned earlier who accomplished amazing things over the last year to ensure the future of this community. It's now my great pleasure to introduce a most remarkable leader, the CEO and President of Say Yes to Education, Marianne Schmidt-Carey.
Good morning, everybody, and a special good morning to all of you, the students that are sitting before me. My daughter's in the 6th grade. Any of you in the 6th grade? Awesome. Well, if Mr. Weiss follows through and has exciting things to say today, I know she wants to meet each and every one of you. I am so honored to be here today. I have absolutely fallen in love with this community. I admire each and every one of you that have been part of this journey over the last year and a half tremendously. And I thank you for your commitment to these young people and to both of your cities and to your county as a whole. The journey that continues started with one man who you've heard mentioned, George Weiss. And that started 28 years ago. And he reached out his hands and he took 112 students in West Philadelphia at the Belmont School, and he committed to them, they were just starting 7th grade, that if they did their part, worked hard, graduated from high school, that he would pay for them to go to college. And that's where this journey began. Through that work, he realized that it's not just a scholarship, it's a number of other things that need to happen. So after that, he started in a half dozen other places these types of efforts, and he took between 100 and 300 students in these cities that included places like Philadelphia and Cambridge in Massachusetts, Hartford, Connecticut, Harlem in New York City, and he worked directly with them and with others that cared and could provide supports. And what he was able to do in all of those communities across 18 years is actually double the number of students that not only completed high school but completed college. And it was really an amazing effort. I was really honored and blessed to be turned to in 2006 and was challenged to leave Washington that I'd spent a little bit too long in and to actually help the foundation sort out how to do this work at scale. Nothing about what we do is anything more than common sense. Create hope and provide supports, build a path, and help people walk down the path. But how do you go to scale? And how do you make it sustainable? And that was the challenge. And the idea that you started to hear about is, what if a community came together and worked together to essentially do what one man had done for 750 kids, and to do that for a whole community? We started with a smaller community in upstate New York, Syracuse, and we learned a lot of what we don't know the first time you do something at scale, and that was really, really important. We supported and continue to support 20,000 students that are in that school system, and to date, over 3,000 students have gone on to college. We took on another city 4 years ago, in Buffalo, New York. Over 40,000 students in that city. We've already had 2,000 students go on to college, and they have really implemented the full program and increased college going rates by almost 10%, increased high school graduation rates by 8%, and they continue to move forward today. And I can assure you it's a sister city that you will grow to love. So after that, we said we're ready to get out of the Northeast, and that's the journey that's brought us to today. Jean mentioned all of, and Ann did as well, and Mildred did as well, all of the people. What has happened here around Say Yes Guilford is really about each and every one of you here contributing, rolling up sleeves. And we had the opportunity to help put together a video. Just there's so many people that really make something like this happen that we'd like to just share that video. And the question was really, what could something like this mean to this community? And so in their own words, let me allow them to share their thoughts.
I think Say Yes is a game changer for us.
If we're going to be all that we can be as a community, Say Yes is going to be one of those vehicles that takes us there.
Some of our students will give up simply because they think, even though I'm capable, I cannot afford it, so I'm not able.
I see a lot of students in middle schools and early years of high school that have pretty much figured out that they don't think they can afford college, and they don't think that they're going to be able to have the resources and support to get there.
We need to invest in our young people in order to have a vibrant, ongoing, successful community.
The best way to predict the future is to create it. And Say Yes is creating the future for so many young people.
So knowing that people are able to be sent to college with a scholarship is awesome.
In the long term, I think our community will look back on this moment as pivotal to Guilford County, where we allowed every child who graduates from Guilford County schools the opportunity to achieve success, whatever their path may be.
An immediate impact, of course, would be on our class of 2016, our seniors, and them being eligible for these scholarship dollars.
Instead of worrying about, oh, I can't pay for this, I can't pay for that, I don't have to drop out, I can just worry about studying for tests and stuff like that. So it's going to benefit me and my peers, and it'll help our community grow.
Say Yes has a lot of moving parts to it. At first glance, it's just a scholarship for last dollar scholarship for tuition, which is a wonderful thing. But probably the part that excites me more are what they call the wraparound services.
What it's done is it's giving me access to resources that I should have had to pay for, or I would have had to stay in line for, or waiting forever for. Now they're at my footsteps, they're at my fingertips.
I think Say Yes to Education is important to Guilford County. I love that it's going to bring the wraparound services to really make our students successful. It's one thing to offer them scholarship dollars, but it's another thing to give them the resources that they'll need to make them successful.
When you prepare children for success in their whole life, the ripple effects are enormous.
It was just too exciting, too fantastic an opportunity to pass up.
The impact that Say Yes to Education has achieved in New York State mostly, going citywide in Syracuse and Buffalo, with the impact on graduation rates that achieved and the full community coming around in support of public education, was one of the selling points to us as a foundation and wanting to make a huge investment for what this could mean to Guilford County.
It's not about replication, so to speak, as it relates to, Buffalo or Syracuse or any other Say Yes community. It's really about how do we mold that model to make it one that works in Guilford County. And I think that if we sit down and we have conversations, we can create a model in Guilford County that really becomes a best practice around the country.
So the communities that will be the most successful in economic development in the next 10 to 20 years are those communities that are creating a talent pipeline to fill the jobs of the future. Economic development is about creating jobs and improving communities, and Say Yes will be a significant component of that.
And that's what really makes this effort very exciting. That for the first time, it's not 100 different organizations working on 100 different wonderful programs. It's all of us working on one magnificent program that will literally transform this community for generations.
I think that Say Yes can change the division between High Point, Greensboro, the county as a whole, and bring us all together because it puts us all at the same table.
We want to create a community atmosphere where people want to stay here and other people want to move in and bring their talents and help to grow our community, make it a richer place.
I think anytime we're focused as a community on our future and focusing on our kids is focusing on our future, we can always move the needle in a positive way.
More than anything, it's our community, Guilford County community, actually working together on the governmental front with the school system, with the parents, with the teachers. All of these systems will really be working together to benefit my child and your child.
If I just look at it from my children's perspective, they're going to have a lot of leaders, a lot of amazing people that will be in their generation. And my son, who's 5, his generation will be taken care of. It's a long-term thing. It's not about me. It's not about the generation now. It's that next generation that Say Yes is saying, we're going to make sure there's a legacy there for you.
I just think this is a phenomenal opportunity for Guilford County and for our students, and it ensures that we're going to have a great future.
One thing that Say Yes will give our students is hope, and that is something that you can't put a dollar value on.
It would give us an opportunity as a community to unite as one, with one voice, for one cause, and that's education and our kids.
After the successful implementation of Say Yes, I think the sky is the limit. I really believe that. And I think that Guilford County schools and the Guilford County community will be very proud and glad that we have entered into this partnership.
Say yes.
Say yes.
Say yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Say yes for education.
Say yes to education.
I absolutely adore that little girl. She is precious. So I am now very honored to be able to introduce our next speaker, the founder of Say Yes, George Weiss. He's also the CEO of George Weiss Associates, a money management company. As I mentioned, he started this with his personal commitment 28 years ago, and all of us that are lucky enough to be able to be part of the movement that he created. It's really, for each and every one of us, it is the most meaningful work we have ever done in our lives, and we are just so lucky to have him as our hero and our leader. I give you George Weiss.
Thank you, thank you. Tell you, what a beautiful day to be in Guilford County, North Carolina. I wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about the genesis, which is the beginning of the thought process of why I started an educational foundation. When I was a sophomore at college at the University of Pennsylvania, I was relatively poor, and they asked us to, hold a Christmas party for a group of inner city kids that were of Irish and Italian descent. And they were a gang called the 12 Apostles. And they were 12, I was 19 at the time. We became friends. They used to come to the fraternity house. We would play some pool. I'd go down there and play some basketball, or hoops as you guys would call it. Not very well, but and we became friends. So I graduated from college. I came back to a football game. They would sneak into the stadium to watch it with me. Finally, I was 26, 27 years of age. I finally had the financial resources to invite these kids to lunch. And the one thing that usually happens is when you offer somebody a free lunch or dinner, they tend to it'd turn out in pretty good numbers. So we're at this luncheon, okay, and over the years, the kids had talked to me about their brothers and sisters that were in jail, their sisters that had gotten pregnant, but we never ever once talked about staying in school. So we're sitting there at lunch, and I'm a very emotional guy, and all 12 of these kids graduated high school. So I started tearing up, and one of the kids turns to me and says, "George, we couldn't look you in the eye if we dropped out of school." So I just made a silent pact with God there and then that if I ever had the financial ability, the financial resources to make a difference in this world, I would do it, and I'd do it in education. That's the genesis. You boys and girls, the young men and young women of the Guilford High School public school system, everybody in this room knows that you guys are great kids with great brains. Years ago, I was asked to give a speech about the equal opportunity of a college education. And the more I thought about it, the angrier I became, because I contend there is no equal opportunity for a college education. And I'm going to give you two quick stories on that. When we had our, as Marianne mentioned, the Belmont School, were 112 kids. Second semester, senior year, a young man by the name of Alexander stopped going to school. So I called him and I said, "Alan, what's going on?" He said, "Mr. Weiss, 6 of my friends have been murdered this semester. I'm afraid to go to school. I ask you, how is that an equal opportunity for a college education?" Another young lady, Shamika Brown, who was president of her class, a dynamic young lady, gets arrested by assaulting a West Philadelphia policeman that was 100 pounds bigger than she is. So I called her and I said, "Shamika, talk to me about your anger." She said, "Mr. Weiss, your daughter Allison is very fluent in Spanish. I'm taking my 4th year of Spanish, and they're teaching me to count to 10 in my 4th year of Spanish. So I ask you," and she said, "You're right, you're damn right I'm angry. And I ask you again, is that an equal opportunity for a college education?" Say Yes is about an equal opportunity. Say Yes is about a level playing field. You will see. Getting more to the present, 9 years ago, the board of Say Yes said, we have to get into the new millennium. We had approximately 900, students in different cities that Marianne Schmidt-Carey had mentioned. And suddenly, so what we did is we hired Marianne to take us in the new millennium. And 6 months later, she comes in with a proposal to take on an entire city to go from roughly 900 kids to 22,000. Now, I'm a businessman, and I know when you do that kind of expansion, something's going to have to give. And it's incredible. Her vision, and we took over the wonderful city of Syracuse, okay, and have done a wonderful job, and not only in Syracuse and Buffalo, and it was a great move on our part. So if I stood before you yesterday, I can tell you that we had 65,000 kids in the program, 65,000 kids in the program, with 6,300 kids attending college. That's an amazing, amazing number. So I know you're not all here today to look at my pretty face, and I have 3 announcements to make. But before I get into my first announcement, the first is that the Say Yes staff is absolutely incredible, and they looked into very diligently between 120 and 130 cities. They narrowed that down to 26, then to 6, and to 3. And I am really proud to announce that nothing could be finer than Say Yes in Guilford County, North Carolina. The choice was to have you sing it or me sing it. You guys won out narrowly. Second announcement, and I'm equally proud of this. We have 100 private colleges and universities standing with us and with you, okay, to offer free tuition for all eligible Guilford High School students. Now, nobody has an excuse, okay, when you're in this wonderful school system to say, I can't afford to go to college. That is not true. You'll all be able to afford to go to college. I want to give a special shout out to 9 colleges and universities in this great state of North Carolina that are partnering with us. Bennett College, Davidson. I think this is going to take longer than I thought. Davidson, Duke University, Greensboro College, Guilford College, High Point University, Laurel University, Salem College, Wake Forest University. Nicely done. My last and third announcement is and it's actually important for the seniors in the Guilford High School system. This applies to you. Those of you that are graduating and are eligible, you will be getting free Say Yes to Education scholarships. God bless America.
Just some quick words here. First of all, thanks again to Mr. Weiss and to Say Yes National. Thank you. This may be a little bit of a rebuttal, if you will. I get to say on behalf of Guilford County, all of Guilford County, we are indeed honored to be the next Say Yes to Education community. Congratulations to Guilford County. Wow. Wow. Congratulations to you. So many of you, when you heard just an echo of what this could be, said, I want to be a part of this movement. I want to figure out how I can contribute to Say Yes coming to Guilford County. And so I say again, congratulations to each and every one of you. On behalf of the 72,000 students in Guilford County Schools, I also say thank you. Thank you for raising your hand to say we want to partner with an amazing organization like Say Yes to Education, one that will want to help us embrace each and every one of those 72,000 students, tell them that we love them, tell them that we will educate them to the best and the highest ability that we can, that we will provide wraparound services for each and every one of them to be successful, and then allow them to pursue their dreams of a college education. And so for that, I also say thank you. So this is the day of the big announcement, if you will. But now comes the work. And so I also say thank you in advance for all that you will do to make this. You see, every time I talk about things, I want to be sure that it's abundantly clear. I want us to be the best, not the second best, and that's not taking anything away from the other communities that already have done this and others in the future that will. But we are Guilford County. And so our intention must be on being the best Say Yes community in the country. This is a happy moment, a joyous occasion for all of us and all in our community. You ought to be proud of yourselves. Young people, join us in making this a wonderful opportunity for you. Do the work that your teachers and your principals and your counselors call upon you to do. You have been given a magnificent gift. We love you, and we want the best for each and every one of you. Now, to wrap this up, to help us say thanks to all that have made this possible, and to say thanks in particular to Say Yes National. Please join me in welcoming the scholars of Allen J. Preparatory Academy and the cheerleaders from Ragsdale High School. Thank you and be blessed.